So I ain't never did this before, but usually I play video games, hang out with my kids. I'm in my kids' room right now, you can tell. Um, I just thought it would be fitting to do this for the first time in my kids' room because that's what I'm worried about the future of is my kids. And with everything going on with all the racial tension and everything out there, everybody agrees that George Floyd was murdered. Excessive use of force was used, but Chauvin did not receive a fair trial. There's no way in the world he could have received a fair trial, even though he was guilty as hell. And for people to ignore the call to violence by Maxine Waters, people say, silence is the same as violence. Well, the entire Democratic Party is guilty of violence then, because they don't say nothing. And if they do say something, it's lies. Nothing but lies, all the time. Just the other night, may have been yesterday, you had 60 Minutes do a story about Ron DeSantis. And then, even the Democratic mayor, Dave Kerner, came out and denounced that whole thing as a lie. They're getting caught lie after lie after lie. The 16-year-old girl that almost got stabbed in Ohio. I mean, you had people editing their films to take the knife out. You had people like LeBron James that just shoot off the hip, not knowing anything. For what? What's the point? What's the end game? I wish I had millions of dollars to hire my own security for him and have my own protection. But, I mean, it's stupid. And just a couple weeks ago, Cincinnati, Ohio, a 13-year-old stabbed another 13-year-old to death. What was the cop going to do? Let the person just stab her to death? Yeah. The problem is no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you'll always be wrong. You'll never be right. And even if you are, they'll lie straight through their teeth to get what they want and to push what they want. So, I recently found this new news, I call it app, but called The First News, or The First TV. Got Bill O'Reilly on it. That's what first caught my eye. I used to watch Bill O'Reilly all the time on Fox News. And I love Tucker. I like Tucker. But it's not the no spin. And even as I watch Fox News over and more and more and more, they don't say what you need to say. Like the language that we use versus the language that the Democrats use, it's kid gloves compared to, I don't know, Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's night and day. So, I know there's this big push to call them liars, which they are. But there should be a push to make lying a crime, punishable. And once people realize that, they just can't go around lying about everything. And they'll be held accountable for their lies. Nothing's going to change. I mean, Leo Terrell, I think that's his name, on Fox News, sits there and gets on there and... No, I said that wrong. Leo's a good guy. I have to edit that one. But, who's the guy? Ron Williams. Juan Williams is a liar and a propagandist. Plain and simple. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's his job to be the opposite side, but, I mean, no. Anyway, on the First TV, I've been watching a thing called I'm Right with Jesse Kelly, and I wish they could get some people like that on Fox News. Somebody that could just speak the truth without caring about the consequences. We got in this world, people don't care. People that pretend to care, and the rest of the people are sheep. Nothing but followers. They don't have a conviction in their bone. God's lost in the country. Sex, violence on TV left and right. You got the people running this country in the Democratic Party have no morals. Dan Bongino says all the time, if journalism's dead, Hannity says that too, journalism's dead. But the more and more all these things come out, and the more and more lies that are blatantly in your face lies. Systemic racism in America. You know, there's people out there that hate other people because of color of their skin, and nothing you're going to say or do is going to change that. So, if we could all just act better toward each other, that would change the mind and perception of a nation. Instead, we get hate, vindictiveness, harsh rhetoric, lies. Lying is the biggest thing I could think of that would help this nation. As if you could make it so people weren't able to lie. And if you were able to catch them in that lie, you should be punished by a court of law. Just as if you were in a court of law, you can't lie. Why are you allowed to lie once you leave the door of that courtroom? Don't make sense, does it? So, I've been watching a lot of this Jesse Kelly guy, and I love his attitude. I love the way he talks. I love what he talks about and how he points out the inconsistencies and the hypocrites and just all this other stuff. And I don't know if YouTube would let me play the audio behind it so you could hear him, but I'm not even gonna try it. What else is bothering me? Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, going down. What are you gonna do? Nothing. Hold on to it. Hope for the best. Man, like I said, it's the first time doing this, so I don't even really know what to talk about. Wrote some things down on a piece of paper, but that went a lot faster than I thought. I guess let me talk a little more about Maxine Waters. And people are always like, well, she's been like that forever. And it's like, so you're too stupid to do anything about it, is really what you're saying. You can't censor her before. You couldn't impeach her before. 1998, 2016. At what point in time do you do something about it? So, I don't know. People like that are just trash. There's no other way around what to call them. If you're willing to take something as innocent, or take something that is innocent and pure, and then completely lie and twist it and present it to a nation of millions, you should go to jail for slander, lying, defamation. Call it what you want. Being a bitch. What is it? So, I don't know. I'll try to get better at these and maybe do some occasionally. But no, it's about all I have for now. See you later.